Using real twigs for the snowman's arms gives him some extra personality. For this project, you will need white, orange, and black polymer clay and a few colors for accent items, twigs, toothpicks, a small piece of wire if you want to make earmuffs, and a non-metal baking dish. We'll start with the standard snowman. Roll a large marble-sized ball of white clay. Break off a toothpick so it's just shorter than the size that you want the finished snowman to be. Stick the end into the large ball. Roll a second ball slightly smaller than the first. Use another toothpick to poke the hole all the way through. This will help it retain its snowball shape, and then thread it onto the toothpick. Make a head that is slightly smaller than the middle. Poke a hole in the bottom, don't go all the way through, and then stick it on top of the toothpick. Press everything together so it stays in place. Now roll a tiny carrot nose. Use a toothpick to make an indentation in the head where the carrot will go in. This will help it stick in and give it some dimension. Now roll tiny balls for the eyes and do the same thing. Make an indentation with the toothpick where you want the eyes to go and then set them in place. Make a mouth. I'm going to do just one ball for the mouth to give my snowman a surprised look. And then make 3 buttons that go down the snowman, 2 in the middle layer and 1 in the bottom layer. Break the twig into 2 pieces that are just over 1 inch each. And then stick them in place into the sides of the body, making sure to press them far enough in that they'll stay securely in place. I'm going to make a scarf and earmuffs for this snowman, so I'm going to roll a long skinny snake to make the scarf, measure it to see how long it should be, and then flatten it out with your finger. Cut off the ends with a toothpick, and then use the end of the toothpick to make a little fringe on the end of both sides. Wrap it around your snowman's neck and press it into place. To make earmuffs, roll 2 small balls and flatten them out with your finger. Use the end of the toothpick to give them some texture. Stick them in place on the side of the snowman's head. And bend a small piece of wire to fit over the head and press it down so that the ends stick in between the earmuffs and the snowman's head. As a finishing touch, you can get the tiniest piece of white clay possible on the end of a toothpick and stick it on the eyes for some highlights. Now we'll make the partially melted snowman. So start out with a round ball of clay and press it all around the edges so that it looks melted. If it's a little bit uneven, that looks best. Roll the middle ball and flatten it so it's not a perfect circle. Break off a small piece of toothpick and stick it in the bottom layer, and go ahead and stick the second layer on. Press this one down so that it blends nicely into the bottom layer. Make a round ball for the head, poke a hole in the bottom with a toothpick and press it into place. Make the face the same way you made the first snowman, rolling a little orange carrot nose, making an indent with your toothpick and pressing it into place. Add the eyes and the mouth by rolling little balls, making indents with the toothpick, pressing them in place. Break off a couple of twigs and stick them in the sides for arms, and then add buttons and whatever accessories you would like. We'll make a top hat for this snowman, so press a ball of black clay flat and measure it on the head to make sure it's the right size. Then press a ball of black clay onto the top to form the top of the hat. Press it into place on the head when you're finished. To make a simple flower for decoration for the hat, press together 3 balls of purple clay, give it a center of orange, and press it onto the side of the hat. Add tiny white specks of clay to highlight the eyes. Place the snowman in a non-metal baking dish and bake according to the clay manufacturer's instructions. It'll be about 275 degrees for 20 to 30 minutes. When they're done baking, let them cool completely, remove them from the dish, and you're finished. Please subscribe to my channel. There's new videos every week, so you don't want to miss one.